In the next Flash Clans update, we're getting a brand new Dark Elixir troop, a new minion prince equipment, and more. I'm going to be showing you gameplay and explaining everything you need to know, but first, if you haven't watched yesterday's video, you can check that out right here in the top right corner. Let's start with the new Dark Elixir troop, the Furnace, unlocked at Town Hall 15. The Furnace is clearly inspired by Clash Royale's Furnace. In fact, it is nearly the same. When you spawn the Furnace, it doesn't move or attack. Instead, it's like a building that spawns fire mites, kind of like the fire spirits from the Flame Flinger. Why not just name it the same? I don't know. Much like the Furnace, the fire mites will seek out the nearest target, in this case buildings, throw themselves at it and deal some damage over time. Over the course of 60 seconds, it will spawn about one fire mite every 3 seconds. There is a maximum it will spawn, which can be increased by upgrading it, and that will also increase the level of the fire mites, doing more damage. Now, this is certainly not something you can spam and get an easy 3-star with. However, out of curiosity, I did try that and managed to get 24%. Do what you will with that information. The Furnace is clearly meant to be something you deploy behind an army and just let it work at stuff, or maybe even help with funneling since they only last 60 seconds. Overall, there's some fun little things to play around with, and I'm curious on what kind of armies the community comes up with. Next up is a new common equipment for the minion prince, the Noble Iron, unlocked at Town Hall 12. This equipment is passive, and it basically makes the prince's first few shots deal more damage, travel faster, and have longer range. It's kind of like the rocket spear for the minion prince, but what it most resembles is the super minion's ability. I mean, he is a minion after all. I can see this coming in handy for sniping key buildings or creating a funnel, but it's important to note that this doesn't change its targeting, so it will still target whatever's in front of it. So if you have it unlocked, maybe this will synergize well with the Angry Jelly. Just a thought. Aside from its passive ability, it also boosts the attack speed by 17% at max level. Overall, it makes the minion prince faster and initially stronger. Next up is balancing. Normally I don't really care about balancing, but these are quite interesting. Several secondary troops are getting their housing space reduced, and essentially what that is troops that are spawned from other troops or traps or whatever. Now, depending on what strategies you use, you may not even notice a change at all. This will mostly affect their interactions with the Spring Trap, Tornado, Gigabomb, Clone, and the Recall spell. Alright, now let's move on to some smaller changes. The resource rewards from the builder base have been significantly increased for almost all leagues, so it should now be easier to get some loot. The wall upgrade tool now allows you to select walls based on your current wall ring inventory rather than just your resource cap. And this next one is interesting. It won't affect anything, but now that you don't need a builder to chop down obstacles, the villagers will now do it. They kind of just clap in front of it and it vanishes. Claiming gems from achievements are now more satisfying than ever, and the rest of the changes are mostly bug fixes and small things that you may not even notice. And finally, for some economy changes, several Town Hall levels are getting time and cost reductions. I won't read it all because it's a lot, but I will leave a link down below for the full details of this round of reductions. So that's all I have for you today, and that concludes all of the sneak peeks as well. But hey, what's up here? YouTube thinks you'll like this next video, and honestly, I think you will too. So why don't you check it out? As always, happy gaming outs. Peace!